Hello and thank you for joining us on the Pigskin Preview. Alongside the head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Mark Hendrickson, I'm Andrew Bacon. This past week, the Leathernecks had a bye week, so Coach, what can you tell us goes on during the bye weeks?
Well, a lot does happen during the bye week, Andrew. We've gone through camp and 4 tough games to start the season. And so we gave the players Sunday off. Normally, we show them the game tape on Sundays and have a light practice on Sundays. But obviously, since we had the extra week, we gave the players Sunday off. So on Monday, we showed them the game tape and had a very short workout, really just stretching and striding. Normally Monday is their day off, and they appreciate that because that's a day for them to go see their instructors on Monday afternoon and get caught up with schoolwork. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we had our work days. We really got after it. We went, defense versus offense. We didn't do a lot of scout team work. We did more work against each other, good on good, as we say. And that creates, of course, an up-tempo, fast-paced practice. And we weren't as worried about schemes as we were the fundamentals of football. So it gave both sides of the ball, a chance to run their base schemes against each other and really just get after again the fundamentals of the game, and I'm sure I know it did us a lot of good. Then on Friday we actually had an early morning workout because the coaching staff scattered across the state and into some other states to go out recruiting since we didn't have a ball game. So coaches, we saw ball games all over the Midwest on Friday night and Saturday afternoon, and then we came back and started Sunday of this week like a normal game week with a short meeting and a short workout on Sunday, starting the game week off, and Monday was off, and now we'll go right into a normal game week from this point on.
All right, and then this week I was able to sit down with defensive coordinator Brian Ward to talk about the defense and his transition of coming to Western Illinois.
4-3 defense is, I guess it fits my personality more in terms of, how I view our profession. I was a 3-3-5 guy back when I coached at Glendale Community College in Arizona, and had a lot of success running that defense. We had kids for 2 years there, and we were able to, coach a high-level athlete. And, at that junior college, we won a national championship in 2000 there, and we were able to, be very, very multiple and, be very active in terms of pressuring the quarterback and showing a lot of different looks. But when you're doing that, you're taking away from, just fundamental improvement, things like tackling and leverage and assignment and formation recognition and being able to, teach kids how to play, tendencies. When you're a 3-3-5 defense, you tend to be more of a live by the sword, die by the sword, and the better players that you have, the more extreme results you're going to have in terms of success. But the 4-3 is I guess predicated more towards on improvement, and a first-year player compared to a fifth-year player that's redshirted, just they may be a similar type of athlete, or maybe even the fifth-year guy is less of an athlete, but by the fifth year, that fifth-year guy is going to be a much better football player. He's going to be able to understand situations, understand his fundamentals, be able to relate a call with the specific technique that he needs to execute, and 4-3 is more of a question and answers defense than it is with a 3-3-5.
As each game has gone on, Coach Ward feels the team is learning how to perform better in his 4-3 defense.
The process is ongoing, and this season so far through 4 games, I mean it's been a process, and going back to last spring up until this point, I mean I really believe that we have the guys that can be very good, defensively, but it's a process, and it starts with us coaches, and it goes all the way down to the players, and every new week brings new challenges, but the number one thing is especially being in this conference, you can prepare all week for something specific and get something completely different on game day. Well, that's where I believe the 4-3 strengths are, is once our guys understand, why they're doing what we're doing, regardless of what we see or prepared for, we're going to be ready to defend it. So, and there's a difference between defending and stopping a play. You stop a play, that means no yardage, nothing gets going. Defending a play means, hey, if we're in cover 3 and they throw a 5-yard hitch and get 5 yards or get 6 yards, well, we've defended that play. It's probably not the ideal coverage to be in, so we got to have an answer the next time we think we're going to get that type of play. So, our guys are still learning, learning the fundamentals of the defense, and each week it's improving.
This year, the defense has allowed an average of 13 less points per game than last year, although Coach Ward still feels there's plenty of room for improvement.
Where do I start? We can improve in all areas. Yeah, and do I think we can get to where we want to be defensively? Absolutely. And there's always going to be room to improve. And this week our focus was to be better on third down, and we definitely were. I think Illinois State was we were 71% on third down as a defense. Now, a few of those third downs, they got down to 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, which created a short yardage situation for us. So it's debatable whether we were really as successful as we wanted to be on third down. But at the same time, we showed marked improvement on third down. We didn't give up a big play in the air to Illinois State, which hasn't been done so far this year by any of their opponents, and we weren't as good at stopping the run as we've been most of the year. And right now, anything new that we see as a defense, if we see it new or haven't prepared for it, it gets us, and that shows the mark of a young defense that's running a specific defense for the first time.
In February, Coach Ward was hired to be the defensive coordinator, and since then, he has felt like Macomb has been the right fit for him and his family.
It's been good. It's been really good. I really enjoy Western. My family and I like the small town environment, and it's a small town environment which allows me to make the transition from work to home very quick. I don't have a commute, which really helps in terms of having 3 young kids, and I feel like this is one of the few Division I situations in America that you're able to play at a very very, very high level of football and also be a husband and a father. So it's really everything that I'm looking for my career and my family.
Coach, what has the Leathernecks' new defensive coordinator Brian Ward brought to your team?
Well, Brian has brought a great deal to our program. Coach Ward is just a real first-class man on and off the football field, and he's a great man to work with. And that means a lot to me because obviously I work with him a great deal, minute by minute on a daily basis, as does the defensive staff. He's brought a lot of leadership and obviously a new scheme when it comes to football, to the defensive side of the ball. He's an excellent teacher, an outstanding coach, and you can tell that based on the way the defense has played through the first 4 ball games. When we study the game tapes each week, you can literally see the improvement made by the defensive players, from game 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that will continue all season as they get more and more comfortable with their roles. And Brian, I know he feels fortunate. He has a very good defensive staff, and as a group, they've done a great job with our defensive players.
That's right. As Coach Ward was telling me that the more experience that the starters get on the defense, they'll learn better and that they'll become better equipped for the formation as the season goes on.
They certainly will, and we've got a mixture of some veterans along with some young players, some freshmen playing on defense, from some young men that transferred in playing on defense and playing major roles. And but when you've got a system like Coach Ward and you teach it well, those new players can fit in very well.
All right, well, stay tuned, as up next we'll talk about the Leathernecks offense thus far. This is the Pigskin Preview.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man. Look, honey, the neighbors just bought a big screen TV.
Hey, I just got a bonus at work. Maybe we should get one too.
Hold on there.
Savings man.
Using your bonus to secure your future by paying down debt or saving is a better way to go.
Well, I declare you're right, savings man.
Stay ahead by choosing to save. And don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses.
But their name is Johnson.
For more tips and tools, visit choosetosave.org today.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. Over the offseason, the Leathernecks promoted running back coach Kewan Ware to offensive coordinator.
Being a running backs coach is more so being the head coach of the running backs. Now being a coordinator, you're going to make sure everybody's on one accord and not just worrying about the running backs. It's more so making sure the receivers are lined up, making sure the quarterback has the right points, and making sure the offensive line is all in sync. With that being said, there's also the organizational aspect of it, meaning making sure practices run, fluent. We have the right game plan, the right schemes, and we're attacking that defense the right way.
Going from the running backs coach to the offensive coordinator has benefited Coach Ware in teaching the running backs his offensive schemes.
It helps teach the big picture to the backs. When I teach the running backs, I teach them not only what they need to know, but I try to teach them the offense. So they should know, what should happen, when it should happen before the ball is even snapped or the quarterback even starts calling the point. They should be able to tell it. They should know the point just as well as the quarterback should know the point. They should know the blocking schemes as well as the offensive line knows the blocking schemes. If they want to become coaches one day, they'll know the entire offense. It's all about open communication and trust, and they know I trust them. I think that with that being said, they know if I spend some time working on another, concept with the other positional groups, they understand that I didn't forget them and that I'm doing it for the betterment of the entire team, not just for them.
One of the changes for the offense this year was the switch to a huddle offense.
We made the switch to the huddle offense to fit our personnel. We felt that playing an up-tempo game the way it was played last year really didn't fit the pieces that we had in camp during spring ball in the summer. So I thought the communication aspect from the no huddle, it put more stress on the receivers, and I think that the strength of our offense was the running back, so we really wanted to focus on that.
In the offseason, the offense became much quicker after getting adjusted to the huddle offense.
Well, I thought they picked it up pretty well. The guys bought into the system, the changes, and they grasped the concept. They started to play faster, which we wanted them to do. I think the no-huddle offense had them thinking more, on where they align, how they align, compared to us telling them how to do things.
Once the season was underway, Coach Ware has been able to pinpoint what the offense does well and then what it also struggles in.
It's a process. Each and every week it presents a new challenge for us. The guys have been performing okay. We still have a lot of work to do. Just need some more consistency across the board. Receivers, running backs in protection, offensive line in protection from the quarterback's play. We all have to come together on one accord. And I think that will happen. We have some more time to go back to the fundamentals and work our technique, and we should be ready for the stretch run of our conference schedule.
Coach, what has offensive coordinator Kewan Ware brought to the Leathernecks since being promoted?
Well, Coach Ware is a young coach, so he brings that youth, that number one. He brings a lot of enthusiasm and energy, a great deal of knowledge. He's had many great experiences prior to being here at Western Illinois University. So he brings a lot to the table. And in addition to Coach Ware, we added a couple other offensive coaches in the offseason. They've meshed together very, very well. The players enjoy working for them, learning from them, and the offense side of the ball, things have gone well, and I know they're going to improve each and every week, just like on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, well, we're going to take another short break, but stay tuned, as up next we'll hear from some of the Leathernecks receiving corps and preview next weekend's game against South Dakota. You're watching the Pigskin Preview.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. Earlier this week, I got a chance to talk with receivers Kyle Robisky, Justin Morgan, Fred Solomon, and receivers coach Gunnar Twiner.
Well, it started with basically when Coach Twiner came here. He's big on, as far as being a receiver, it's all about being confident in your game.
He brought kind of like a new kind of swagger to the receiving corps.
I know that it helps me to get ready for practice because it's so energizing and it just gets me ready.
You know, we're all brothers, you know, at the end of the day, so, you know, we all come together, and before the game, whatever, maybe a couple times, once or twice, you know, we kind of get together, we kind of feel ourselves a little bit, and that's just really definitely a huge way that we get our confidence up before the game.
I think it's, you know, kind of grown over the last few years of being here. I mean, we've done it a couple times in the past, and the guys really enjoy it. I think they enjoy how it gets them prepared to play for the game mentally, and kind of gives them, you know, their own little kick to kickstart the game. That's the unique thing about it is you don't know what's going to be said. It's kind of everything is kind of ad-libbed. For example, I'll say, you know, who's got a beat? And then, you know, somebody else will go, you know, who got the beat?
Who got the beat? What? Who got the beat? What? Who got the beat?
We say who's got the line, who's got the beat, and then, you know, we gonna have, you know, everyone wants to, if they want to get in, do their little input.
Who got the beat? Who got the beat? Who got the beat? Who got that beat? Who got that beat? Who got that beat? Who got that beat?
You know, Fred, I know Fred starts dancing and stuff like that.
We just bring it up. And then we like, hey, then I hit my dance. And then we be in there, it just, I don't know, just motivation to know that I'm playing with my brothers.
So you really never know how it's going to go or what's going to be said or whatnot, and then somebody will just start rapping off the top of their head, and that's the really unique part about it.
You feel almost like the ultimate confidence. You know, you with your boys that you with every day.
Dancing, goofing off, and it's a relaxing stage, and it's just you calm down, you get a little less tense, and just makes you ready to play.
Like, I'm here because, you know, it's a blessing for me to be here at Western, so I just think like, dang, I'm here, actually here at a university playing ball, something I love to do. It just, I don't know, it just excites me.
Playing on several teams in the past, I've always enjoyed it as a player, kind of brought it here to Western over the years, and it's a great thing for the guys to enjoy before the games.
Since Coach Twiner was hired, whether through his uniqueness or his own experiences in his career, the receivers feel he is the best wide receivers coach they have ever had.
He's a goofball, man. That's how I could describe. He's one of the top receiver coaches that I ever had.
He's different. He's real entertaining. It's never a bland day with him. Just everything he's trying to implicate. It's getting you ready. It's a whole different vibe, a whole different feeling that any coach has ever really put out there for players I've ever been around.
The best wide receiver coach I've had, definitely.
Just with him playing here and him being in this conference, playing the same teams we played, he knows when we play Illinois State, he knows it's a rivalry. He knows the emotions going into every game. At the same time, he knows just the life at Western, the atmosphere. He's shown us film back when he was here, how it used to be, and basically trying to revive that and get Western back to what it was. And I feel like that helps more than anything. When you have a guy who's been in your shoes before, has gone through the exact same scenarios you have, I feel like there's nothing better.
I really can't imagine college football anywhere else because it's the only place that I've coached, and it's the only place that I played. So, you know, I think that the experiences that the kids go through, I can relate to as a player and as a coach now. So I think it helps me and just be a lot more well-rounded.
He's played professional football for 9 years.
Because he's been there, he's done it. So he understands the game ins and outs. So he's just trying to get us prepared for the next level.
You know, his experience is something that he can teach to anybody, and, you know, just the little details of his game that he just tries to spread with all of us, I think is just great. That's why we do our huddle. You know, everything that we do as a group just, you know, reflects our wide receiver coaches, just the way he is, his mentality and his swagger ultimately.
He obviously knew the hard work and everything it takes to get to that level. And for a lot of us, I mean, that's our goal, coming to play college football. That's our dream, to get to that level. So what better teacher than to have someone that's already been there and knows everything to do and hopefully can get you in that position.
You're here at Western, you see it's a definite possibility, but after your coach does, you see your coach has done it, that just gives you a lot of motivation. If I want anybody telling me something, I know I want someone who did it at a higher level than me. And Coach Twiner can give that.
Surreal for a long time. I mean, playing with guys that you've watched on TV and that you grew up watching, and to sit next to them in meetings and stuff like that is quite an honor. And it was the best time of my life. It was, the most fun time of my life. Growing up in Iowa, I really never imagined playing in the NFL at 165 pounds and only 5'10" in height. So, being able to do that was an amazing thing.
Coach, can you tell us how important it is for not only the receivers, but also the entire team to have confidence in their abilities?
Oh, that's more important than I can almost put into words, Andrew. A football team has to be very confident in their abilities, and I believe that starts with the learning process. I know that our players feel very confident in what they're taught by our coaching staff. That gives them a good feeling because they're taught by experts, and at their positions each and every day by my staff. And then the receivers, like all positions, when it becomes game time, based on the way they have practiced very thoroughly and really with all that they've got to give during a practice session, that prepares them for a game. And then at game time, they can feel confident. And a receiver feels confident he's going to run his route correctly. He's going to get himself open. And then, of course, the quarterback's going to get him the ball, and then he's going to make a great catch. And he's going to turn upfield and go with that ball and then protect the ball with perfect ball security until that whistle blows where he scores a touchdown. Those things all happen very quickly in every player's mind at every position. But from snap to whistle, our team is very confident that they're going to be able to accomplish what they need to accomplish on each and every snap. And everything that they do, from their stance to their alignment and their communication with their teammates before that ball snap, is very important. And I know they're confident, in that process, and they do it very well.
Since Coach Twiner has been the receiving coach, how has he helped the receivers themselves with his collegiate and professional careers?
Well, our players really enjoy playing for Coach Twiner. Gunnar does a great job relating to his players. And a big part of that is, as you mentioned, he was an outstanding wide receiver here for Leatherneck years ago, went on and had a successful NFL career, and now is right back here at home, the place that he loves. And the players can feel all of that. They know he's a true Leatherneck inside and out. He's going to give them all he's got 24 hours a day, and therefore they really enjoy playing for him.
This weekend, the Leathernecks will travel to Vermillion, South Dakota to take on the University of South Dakota. This is the Coyotes' first year in the Missouri Valley Conference, as this year they made the jump from being a D2 program to a D1. So, Coach, what can you tell us about the Coyotes?
Well, the University of South Dakota has a very good football team. They play in a dome, the Dakota Dome, and it will be loud. The acoustics in there will make it very difficult for us offensively. They hear our cadence, they hear any communication that we want to make. That's always a challenge, but we prepared for domes well in the past. This makes the third dome that is now in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. They're a very talented football team. Illinois State went there last Saturday, which was South Dakota's first game in our league, and Illinois State came away with a victory 34-31 that obviously went right down to the wire. South Dakota had a chance to win the ball game right at the end. Illinois State hung on for the victory. So they're a very good football team in all phases of the game, and it'll be a challenge.
That's right, Coach, and kickoff will be 2 p.m. in the Dakota Dome. We're going to take another quick break, but up next we'll take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference thus far.
Your heart rate's a little fast.
Cause of death, acute myocardial infarction.
Have you tried a weight loss program?
Likely caused by type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
Still smoking?
Victim's lungs are black and scarred.
You can get a physical exam now, or you can get one later. Talk to your doctor about a physical. Learn how to lower your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease and live a healthier life.
Welcome back. Here are the scores of the Missouri Valley teams from last weekend. South Dakota lost to Illinois State, as we mentioned, 31-34. Southern Illinois lost to Indiana State 3-24. South Dakota State beat Missouri State 17-7. North Dakota State beat UNI, or Northern Iowa, 33-21. And then Youngstown State, and as we said, Western had a bye week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the conference standings. And currently, Illinois State sits at the top as they are 5-0 and 2-0 in conference play. And then tied at second is Youngstown State and North Dakota State, as they are each 4-0 and 1-0 in conference play. And then South Dakota State 4-1 and 2-0 in conference play. Indiana State 3-2 and then 1-1. Southern Illinois 2-3 and 1-1 in conference play as well. Western 2-2 and 0-1 in conference play. And then South Dakota 1-3 with an 0-1 mark in conference. And then UNI and Missouri State each share 0-2 marks in the conference. Let's go ahead and look at next weekend's matchup. Illinois State will play Southern Illinois. Indiana State will play Missouri State. And then a big matchup here, Coach, possibly one of the best of the year. North Dakota State, #1 in the nation, and then Youngstown State, #3, going against each other.
Yes, very impressive for the Missouri Valley Football Conference to have the #1 and 3 teams in the nation. They deserve those rankings, that's for sure. And that'll be a very exciting ball game.
And then another team that is also in the top 10 is Illinois State, as they are currently tied with Sam Houston at #9. And then Northern Iowa and South Dakota State each have bye weeks. And then, as we said, Coach, Western will take on South Dakota.
Yes, and we know we're traveling to the Dome this Saturday and for a real challenge up in South Dakota.
All right, now it's time for the 2-minute drill with Coach. And so our first question here is, growing up, what were some of your favorite athletes?
Oh, I enjoyed, of course, the world of sports when I was a youngster, and certainly enjoyed watching them perform on TV. And of course, that was different back at that time. There was no such thing as cable TV, and there were 3 channels to watch, and so there weren't near as many sports on the air at that time. But football-wise, I know I certainly enjoyed watching Gale Sayers play as a running back for the Chicago Bears. I was always very intrigued with him. I guess my favorite player overall when it comes to football was John Unitas, the quarterback for the Baltimore Colts. I wore number 19 through high school and college because that was John Unitas' number, and really enjoyed cheering for him. And of course, I enjoyed baseball as well. I know I mentioned last week that always liked Mickey Mantle and the Yankees. Roberto Clemente and the Pittsburgh Pirates had a great team when I was a youngster. Really fun to cheer for them as well. And I guess when it comes to basketball, back then everybody liked Wilt Chamberlain, or I certainly did, and the Lakers back then were a lot of fun to keep up with too.
And then, Coach, before you decided to become a coach, what did you want to do?
Well, I thought that I'd be a teacher, a high school teacher and a high school coach. And now that I'm coaching, I'm still really teaching. That's what I do, is teach every day.
And our last question here is your son Myers is the defensive quality coach at Auburn, and what are his responsibilities and how is he liking it?
Oh, Myers loves working at Auburn University for the football staff. He's a defensive quality control coach, and therefore he breaks down all of the opponent's offenses. And so he spends about every waking moment, which is most of his moments out of 24 hours, breaking down the tape of the opponent's offense and putting together, a very thorough scouting report every week for the defensive staff at Auburn.
All right, that's all the time we have for you on the Pigskin Preview. For head coach Mark Hendrickson, I'm Andrew Bacon. Thanks for watching.